Recently, I was watching a YouTuber who has a massive audience explain how they do YouTube and how you should do YouTube too if you are a creator. And she was going over how she films and the way that it fits into the production pipeline for her works great. But the advice for anybody who is a one-person shop like me, or probably you too, then it was the exact wrong advice to give. And I want to go over what that advice was and why it's horrible for us and what we should do instead. So if you are interested in saving time, less frustration, being able to waste less time shooting and editing as well, like this is for you, so stick around. Hello, welcome. My name is Jonathan Pritchard from Plus One Creator, the channel you're watching right now. And part of my background is back in 2008, I think it was, I was the tour manager for a guy named Brian Brushwood, who's phenomenal at what he does. And part of working with him was that he was making an internet-only show called Scam School. And it was produced and distributed by Revision 3, and every month we would get flown out to San Francisco to shoot next month's episodes, and then we'd go back out on tour. So it was a super cool job, and part of my duties were I wrote intros, outros, I was camera 2 through most of that, and I got to see exactly how we made episodes. And part of that is we had lots of takes and multiple cameras, and it's a logistics nightmare because how do you know which angle and what time and all that stuff? So if you've ever seen in the movies those kinds of things, well, what that is you write the scene, the take, and then that way every camera has it, and then when it claps, you've got it synchronized, so you know exactly when what was filmed and from what angle, and then as the editor, you can align all of that to synchronize perfectly. Then you can pick through which take or which camera angle is best for you. So a whole production studio, a whole production company wants that kind of atomic control over every take being separate and organized and cataloged so that the editor can ingest all of that and then have their choice of everything. And what do you think that YouTuber's advice was on how to manage their footage and filming? You guessed it, it was to have a separate take for every single phrase or sentence or idea, and then have multiple takes for that. And then that way their editor could go through and pick the correct take and assemble the timeline that way. If that sounds like an unholy waste of time, you're right. Because during filming, you would have to pre-script everything. You would have to have your shot list down, which we had because we had a very limited time and lots of people coordinating. And the only way to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing and knows that they've done it is to have that shot list that you can check off. But if you're a solo creator, then it can be prohibitive to require yourself to script everything. And then now you're working with a teleprompter and it comes across super disingenuous because I am reading things that I wrote down, and my reading, you get the idea. One of the main values of being a solo creator is that you can make a long talking head video like this as long as you're providing value and helping people solve really difficult problems. Then you can just talk about what you know, and if you really know your stuff, you shouldn't have to overscript everything. So you're saving a lot of time by not overscripting. You're saving time by not having to put together quite such an extensive shot list. You're also saving time by not having to write down what topic and what take it is, show it to the camera, and then synchronize every single time. And then you're saving time on the back end because you're not having to go through and make a whole bunch of choices and opening this file and then opening that file and looking at that file and then finally dragging one into the timeline. No, that is the exact worst way that you could possibly do this. So if you are a solo creator and you want maximum freedom while minimizing how much time and overhead there is and how complicated things can get, if you want to eliminate all of that and maximize all the good stuff, what do? You do exactly what I've been doing since day one of making my own YouTube channel. And that is make one long ass take, no cuts, no nothing, and just go. That's it. That's the whole secret. And here's why it can really help you out. First is that once you get used to doing it this way and you kind of relax and you just talk about what you know, then you don't have a lot of stop and start. You don't have a lot of back and forth. You don't have to remember, did I hit record this time? You just do it once and it's done. And then that way you can just talk for 20 minutes straight, not even have a flub, and then there's nothing to cut. Sure, you might have one of those punch in, punch out kind of things, or you just cut something out because you wanted to, but it's easier to cut things out than it is to go assemble and put them all together from different places. So the second part is it is easier to cut things out, and you can help yourself out in the moment when you're recording and you do have a flub, or you might have to start over for some reason. The best way to do this is to say something super specific and unique that you wouldn't say in casual conversation, like aardvark, aardvark, aardvark. That's my cue to myself that that's where I messed up. So when I'm using an editing tool like Descript, which is what I use to edit all my long form talking head stuff and all my multiple person podcast stuff, I do all my editing in Descript. And I might do a whole video or video series about that if you are curious about how it can help. But the main way that it can help you, when you drop your footage in, it will transcribe everything that you're saying. And now you're just looking through the words and then going, oh, I want to highlight this and hit delete, and it's gone. And your video, it cuts out that video too. So then you can see all the silence is just dot, 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 dot. So you go, okay, well, that was the 30 seconds it took me to look at my notes and go, okay, what am I going to look? Yeah, okay. And we're back into it and we're talking about this thing. So that whole segment, you just see all the dots, you highlight it, delete. And now you're talking, and now we're talking about the next thing. The whole section about you looking at your notes or whatever, just gone. Then, if you Control F or Command F, find, type in aardvark, 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 it'll jump straight to the transcript where you said that. And then you go back like 5 seconds and you go, oh, that's where the mess up was. And then you highlight all that, hit delete, and it's gone. So it's so fast to cut things out that why would you do this any other way? Include everything and then remove what you don't need. So much faster. So easy compared to the, well, where did I put that thing? Nobody's that organized. If you're a creator, you are not that organized, even with the best Obsidian database, especially with the best personal knowledge management system. Who cares? You're never going to be that organized. And even if you were that organized, you're spending time on a thing that you're perfecting that you don't need to be doing. And that's the worst kind of perfection. Meaningless, useless. Doesn't do anybody any good because there's a simple way to avoid all that perfection, which is to just do it all at once. So That's why I highly, highly recommend if you make videos that are mainly talking head stuff like this, do it all in one take. Get used to just letting it run while you look at your notes or figure out what else you need to do, and then go into it. So that's how I've been doing it. That's how most folks who aren't tearing their hair out are doing it. So please, please, for the love of everything good in the world and your sanity and productivity, please just try it. If you're used to taking a separate take for every single thing and doing multiple takes for every single thing, just get good. Just get good at talking to the camera. Get used to the fact that the editing bay is your friend to help you cut things out. Put everything in one go and you're done. That's it. That's how I can get videos out super fast from the time that I think of it, organize it, shoot it, edit, and post it. So much easier. So much easier. So how about you? Do you do multiple takes? Do you do multiple files? Let me know. And if you try it the other way, I would love to see how it goes for you. And if you are curious about Descript and how it can help, go sign up at plusoncreator.com. When you sign up, you get access to a spreadsheet that I keep active, and it is always up to date with the best tools that I'm using for my own YouTube channel, my own professional creator stuff, everything. Any tool that I can think of that I like and would vouch for, I put it in that spreadsheet, and Descript is in there with a link that'll help you get set up. So go to plusoncreator.com, get signed up, get access to that spreadsheet, and then hit me back with an email letting me know how you've put this into practice and how it transformed your YouTube approach. So that's it. That's the whole thing that saves you time from planning, from wasted over optimization and cataloging during the part where you're supposed to be the most relaxed and you're having to keep track of spreadsheets. It's horrible. And in the editing bay where it's the worst of the worst, it's now easy. Just go yoink, 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 done. Everything left is awesome. Send it to print. So that's it. If you are curious about how to develop your own personal knowledge management system or how to use Obsidian to keep track of the stuff that you should be keeping track of, then I highly suggest you check out this playlist. And if you want more insights into making your own YouTube channel or becoming a professional creator off of your own creativity and imagination, then how about we make this YouTube official and subscribe, hit the bell, notification, all that jazz. And if you don't want to do any of that, but you still got something out of this video, hit the like. That'll let YouTube know that other cool folks like you should be seeing this, and it will mean a lot to me and the folks who find it because of your help. That's it for now. I'm Jonathan Pritchard from Plus One Creator. Remember, if you can change your mind, you can change your life.